Hello, hello, Mether. How are you doing? How's it going? I didn't see you yesterday, did I? How are you doing? That was quite some move yesterday, wasn't it? I think the sound is good. Let me know. I'll check it myself as well. Just need to. I always double check it now because. Test, test. That was quite some move yesterday, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, sounds good. Here we go. You're back. Okay, okay. Did you trade yesterday, Meth, or did you manage to take that short in the New York session? I know you don't trade a lot in that time, but I was wondering. Okay. I was here just really busy with this work. Everyone was, okay, gotcha. During for the end of the year is really yeah, it's just a beautiful end of the year, I guess. So, but more important is price action, right? I mean, the chat and just how things are going are just amazing. It's so much more important than the numbers I get. But so Meta, you know that I used that monthly. Oh, look at the price action in the macro going. I mean, it's sort of like we're expecting this, right? I don't think we have to worry. Well, we're going to let this just run, but what I want to point out is we hit that monthly level, that 0.5. Obviously, we went below. We settled exactly on that 0.5 wick on the monthly one. So let me go back to the monthly and show it. Obviously, price action goes down, but it's not about that it has to stop exactly on the high. When you use those higher time frame levels, it doesn't have to stop there, but you'll see the bodies are not going below the 0.5. So on the monthly, we have hit discount, right? I do think we're going further down though, but for now, I guess we're going to get a very firm reaction. Let's study the weekly as well, because tomorrow it's Thursday, right? Today, yeah. So we need to study, like, are we going to get our TGF today in AM session? Because could be, and then tomorrow just minor. So I want to go into the weekly already now, but first we'll go over the monthly again. Just want to show. I mean, I keep going back to it because it's so important. Here we go. So this is at 0.5 of this wick. We went below it. Obviously, we tap into the 0.62 of the dealing range, and now we're just going. We are getting a bit of a correction, right? Which makes sense. Which just totally makes sense. I'm just wondering what this level here is if I use this wick. I'm just curious because I see this other wick. I just want to see if there's any. I'm still studying those wicks though, in all honesty. Sometimes I see them like, okay, there's more logic to it. There's much more to those because all the information is in those wicks, right? If I have to choose bodies or wick, I'll always choose wicks over bodies, to be honest. As weird as it sounds. I want this. Yeah, I just want to see if this is any significance of this level. Did it hit anything? Okay, you are exact. Okay, not exact, but it does come a little bit closer. 0.75, so quarter level, and just a tiny bit below the 0.5, but it doesn't matter because when we're on the higher time frame, we don't expect it to be exact, but we do see behavior that is good enough, right? Okay, so we hit that 0.5, but that was actually my weekly objective. Hey, antisocial. I love that name. I consider myself sort of antisocial in a way. You might not say it, but I am actually. Um, but we'll go from the monthly to the weekly to the daily. No, no, no. I have to listen. Sometimes it switches back to top chat, and then I forget. I'm like, oh my god, did I miss anything from you? But you haven't responded. I do check it. So sometimes it switches back. But no, I'm on live chat. No, Mather, I'm sorry. I'm afraid that for some reason we still don't know what reason it is, right? But I guess I just have to switch it back to live chat. And I don't plan to make any difference between the two. I think I find it really. I don't like that, I think, but we'll see. We'll figure it out along the way. No, you're still in live chat. I still have no idea as well what call. I don't know what changed because I didn't. I think it's something like a little bit on the background from. It's just a weird thing. But we'll make it work. Don't worry. Okay, weekly. We want to see the weekly. I'll take this off. Now I do think I'll show you on the daily that I do think we might go lower as well. So this is the weekly distribution candle. Now, if we get, well, actually you are special now, right? Because you're the only one. You are actually the special one now. Yeah, yeah. You have to see it in a positive way, right? You are the special one. Okay, we want to see. We get a TGIF that once we take out a daily low or a low that is created on this in this candle, we might take it out again and then we go up back up. So we're going to keep an eye on the weekly. I'm going to already put the weekly levels in so we can monitor that today. And because in this area it's a little bit hard to say, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to go lower or are we just going to go back up into the range? Now we're going to go to the daily. Look at the IPTA levels again. Now what do we see? If we're going to go further down, we might get a little bit retracement to the upside and then continuation to the downside. Could be, and then we might get into fill this little gap here, which is still unfilled. So that could be the case, and it's still within the IPTA ranges. So, and still within the 79%. So we technically are still bullish. If you look at the higher time frame, we could still finalize this market maker sell buy side, right? Because we never really, well, we did tap into this one here, but we still have a flat bottom here. I mean, I'm like, we want to go up at some point, right here. But let's see. Nothing we can. We just have to accept this weird price action. But this is also like, look at it. I just keep on saying it. It's so funny. We have a whole block. Normally, if to 20, 40, 60, it's like, you know, it's a range. But this is just one. We've just been consolidating like for 3 months almost now. So it is what it is. But yeah, so my question is, are we going to go up to go down to fill this little gap here? Or are we going to go, is this the range, the 50% of the monthly to go back up all the way? Could be. So we're just going to monitor it and we'll see. But we are prepared. We're going to frame it. We're going to keep on making scenarios, both sides. Maybe even 3 ways. I mean, you can go, we're going to do scenarios for consolidation, up and down. And how do you frame consolidation? Well, we can, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So that's IPTA. So either we're going to go for this week, or we're going to go back up, or we're going to go a little bit lower, and then we go back into the range for a TGIF. But the most important thing is when is what going to happen, right? Okay. 4 hour. Let's have a look. So you see how beautifully, even though price went lower than that 50% of that monthly wick, the bodies did not. So that tells us that we might be still, hey, disciplined futures trader. I love these names. Have you guys come up with them? So the bodies are still above it. You can see settlement price is exactly just a little bit above it. So that's also sort of telling a little bit, not always. but bodies are still above the 50%. So let's see. Now we don't like all these wicks here, but look how they're forming. Low equals, and we might get another wick a little bit low, higher than this one. So that will be a nice setup for another low distribution setup at some point. Because the point that I wanted to make, if you see all these wicks are being formed here, and then you get these nice distribution moves, right? The low resistance distribution. It wasn't really that low. I mean, it did go fast, but it wasn't as clean as we're used to, right? Sometimes it goes like really, really. I mean, let's have a look. It did go fast, but it had a lot of stops. See, it's not really that. I mean, we had a few of these moves, and you see how they just, all these wicks that were created here, those were in a fast distribution move. But then again, it's a lot of, it's sort of partially low. It's sort of like half. I don't know. It's really a little bit weird. It's like partially one move, then we settle down, then we have another move. So it's a little bit tricky. But anyway, I just, on the higher time frame, you see that it's just, you know, it's a large candle, and it creates another new fair value gaps for us to use. But anyway, okay. And did we create a new gap here on the 4? Yes, we did. Okay, see here, the 4 hour created a new fair in volume imbalance. I marked those straight away. If we are not going to fill that in this 4 hour, I will delete it. But if not, I have it already on my, I don't want to forget about it now. Let's see. Volume imbalance. Well, okay, let's go. Okay. Guys, also I just want to point out something again that I noticed yesterday. Go back. Look at these first presented fair value gaps that we mark in the 1:30 to 2 p.m. Look at here, how price Wednesday went into it and then went back up. Then we went back here, and we went lower with exactly the 10 o'clock. Where did 10 o'clock print? 9:45. Look how this wick exactly wicks into it. It's like the retest and then goes down. That's how I use these. But look also here, right? This is we marked this here, 1:30. Look how it just bounced upon it and then it moved away from it. Then we had a retest here and then it moved away from it for the last time to break it. But then the body goes below it and just the wick goes here. Now, did we have? Now, I am almost inclined to think, and that's why I'm going to leave them on. If we get a retest to the upside, I wonder if it's going to use this area again, because when you have when you manage to find those fair value gaps that are being used, like example here, they will be reused again. You want to keep them on your charts. If you see that on the buy side or the sell side is being used very extensively, like in this one, I'm like, okay, once we go back up, you'll see again, it will be a form of resistance perhaps, but I'm just going to leave it on just to see if that's the case, because I'm wondering, they are sort of like becoming very significant. Look here again. Here, I've got another one. This one. This one was from a while back. But look how it's being used. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then here we have a retest in Asia. And then we go here, another retest. We go through it. And again, this little one here, we go through it, the body goes through it, and then another retest. This is how I use retest as well. But you can also make the point, this is also the green line is always my first presented fair value gap of the New York PM session. So it's it's just a 12-hour delay between the two. So I guess they work in cycles. So in this case, you could also just use the first presented, the 1:30 to 2 p.m. First presented. So in that case, you could still use that in the same way. But then look again at the one of yesterday. I want to, when ICT is back, I'm going to ask the question again, because he said not only during London, but I am seeing things that I'm seeing so much more on this one that I'm like, wow, it's becoming actually one of my favorites now. Look at this one here. Look at the retest here. The one at 11 o'clock. Here, boom, boom, 2 times. This one was yesterday's. So I'm just saying, I'm just noticing some so you see here, this one is yesterday's. And because I left it by accident, okay, But here, here is your inversion for your long. Oh, it's actually Tuesday, so it was Tuesdays. Pardon me. So here you use it as your inversion. We don't get a retest yet here. So it moves away from it very fast. Then we have a move through it most likely. Oh, that's here, and that's it moves through it, and boom, you get the retest here. It didn't give a retest to the upside, but it gave a retest to the downside. That's right over here, 2 times, boom, boom. So I'm very excited about this one, in all honesty. But then again, let's see. I'm okay to let this move go. I have some levels already of import. I think this is an important level we could hit, but I want to wait for a retest. I just let this. I'm okay to let this move just go. The macro is done. I've got the macro here. Accumulation. Now the question is, what is the manipulation? Is this a manipulation move, or are we forming the manipulation move? So I'm still not sure. This is too small for me for a manipulation move. So I'm wondering if this is going to be our manipulation move and we have the distribution to the downside, or was this it? Now I don't think so. I think we are forming the manipulation now, but okay. I just want to make sure that I get the right. So between 130 and 2, can we find a good fair value gap? Now this is the only one actually that formed, and within the macro, this is also the one that conformed to CISD. Do you see that? So here we have the change in state of delivery. So I'm going to use this one here. I can also use this one within the macro, but I'm just going to keep it the way he taught it, but I wonder if this one is more of importance within the macro, but it encapsulates this one. So I'm just going to use this one. I'll double check it later if I should have changed it, but I'm just only going to use the one between 130 and 2, which is this one. And it's also, and this one gives a change in the state. So I think it's a valid area to use. Yeah, I'm going to use it like this, and I'll just double check it. So I'm still testing it, like, okay, how can I use it, right? 1:30 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Yeah. Here we go. We'll watch it later. Okay, so we're definitely going up. We can see that, right? I mean, we're bullish. Makes sense. We're over 50. We went into discount on the monthly. We're going back into the range. I think we're going up to go further down a little bit at some point. So. Did anyone take that long? Is anyone in that long already? Hey, but yeah. Look how nasty this is. Almost 5 minutes. Okay, we took out Asia high, we took out London high, New York PM high. Mm, are you in? And what was your entry? Beautiful, nice, well done. Okay, I want to wait for I always tend to let this macro run a little bit and not be in it for some reason. So I have to accept if I miss the move. But then again, it just could keep going up to this level. I have this as a TP for now for London, but it could go higher. But I think we might have a very strong reaction here. I'm hoping we get a hey, hello, 983. You got it 983. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, exactly where the C. You literally got the change in state delivery, right? You waited till this candle closed and then boom. On the 1 minute, it was a clear, yeah. You could also wait it until here, but when you see a large candle like this already forming within a macro, we're bullish, definitely. Yeah, yeah, the IFUG is beautiful. I think you're good to go. I mean, this is a very solid level, 25, 60 until this one, 6, 7. So I think there's still more 30 points in the tank. Yeah. Let's hope that we get maybe we get a little bit of pullback. We can enter with you. I don't know or not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to wait. Maybe we get a reaction here or here, and then let's see, 2022. I want to enter as well, but I really need a pullback. If I miss it, I miss it. But we are in this area now in the inversion or the bearish value gap, but I don't think it's done. Okay, we're at 2. Okay, let's see if we can get a pullback now to this area here, maybe. Let's see. We like that. Okay. Okay. So we got a little gap here. I think it's going to run until this level maybe and then have another pullback. But it's hard to enter now, to be honest. Anonymous has a good entry, so he can, he can sit through the to the chop without being, if he has not moved his stop, which is my. But yeah, I mean, your stop could be a break even now, though. I think this is halfway. What's your TP, Anonymous? We still have this. I think it's gonna run until 40ish. Yeah. It's just hard for me to enter here, even though I know I'm going to miss a move. But I have to practice patience and being okay. This is where I always go wrong. I used to go wrong, and still, if I do go wrong, it's in these areas that I think I know where it's going, and then it either still has a retracement and it's still because your entry is so bad, right? Like if I would enter here and it would still retest this area, obviously, where I'm going to put my stop. It's a really large stop. But look at this little gap that is, well, there's a little gap here that actually formed at the exit of the macro. So it always has okay. I always use this in this macro. I always mark it because it gives me a lot of valuable information. Now, it doesn't have to do it now, but it does help me during London. And we're not, oh, you are already at break even. Yeah, okay. And is that, so you got at 8.3. Okay, you're at break even already. Yeah, you're good there. That's all. I mean, it's not going to go lower than this area for sure. I think if it's going to retest something, it might be at not lower than the 1 standard. Maybe here. It could go here though, but then you're still safe. This is worst case scenario, I guess. So you're good. Yeah, so you have awesome entry. I was talking, but it's okay. I mean, we still might get a good entry as well. It would be a nice example if it showcases if you have a good entry but you can also re-enter sometimes at a later stage, right? And sometimes we miss it. We have to be okay with that, and we just look how Anonymous is making bank early this morning. Now let's have a look at the left. I just want to showcase the area here. Also, one of the reasons I'm not too eager to get in now, especially at this area, because of if you see this to the left, you sort of like already know, like, okay, it's not going to be an easy run up, right? Because there's so many back and forth here. Um, a lot of the times when you get the turn, price mimics the opposite side. Now, not always, but a lot of the time. So if you see a lot of chop on the left, there will be a time that we will enter a same amount, almost a similar area like this as well. So we left previous day low. We created equal lows here, relatively equal. See that? So I'm getting also more interested in a short. If I look at these levels here, equals in Asia. We have similar here. We left some other wicks in this macro. Another low. Okay. We do have a flat candle here as well. Wicks. Yeah. Guys, if you didn't get in where anonymous get in, or just well, but yeah, don't have FOMO in this area, please. Wait for either really pull back or be okay with not having the trade. Just let it play out. There will be enough trades. Hey Ralph, thank you. Yeah, I think it's more important to showcase that, you know, if you miss the trade, it's okay to miss it and let it run and watch it, and, you know, like really study, like, okay, if I really wanted to get in. And it's not like it wasn't like Anonymous really had a good entry because he used the inversion. And, you know, when you combine all the information, it's sort of like, you know, especially when you have the inversion, well, it's still quite a bit of a, even though the inversion is quite big of a stop though, but he already brought it to break even. Let me see how big is that. And you see how much chop there is. So if you get in here, you get stopped out, and then you think, oh my god, it's going back up again. And I don't trust it for one bit at in this area. Now I do think it's going to go up, but when? And is it going to go a little bit lower before it goes up? So in this area, you know, you might have a losing trade. He got in at 8.3. Enormous. Where was your initial stop? Seven two. For me, this would have been a little bit too large to frame it properly. In all honesty, I think I would have entered. Stop loss wise, it's still difficult for me. If I'm looking at it like from a stop loss perspective at that area. Now I think it's a beautiful trade though, but I'm just thinking if I would have taken it, if I would have accepted the risk, and I'm not sure if I would have accepted the risk at this point. So I would here. I would use the breaker maybe here. Would I use the breaker? Yeah, but then it could be here as well. But then I would have used this as well because this is the original I would have used this. It's okay, 20 points. Yeah, I could have done 20 points, I guess. Yeah. Hey, Cesaria. 24953. Okay, so you accepted the larger. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, for me, okay. That will be my hesitation a little bit, 30 points. I do take them, but on trades that I'm really, but I tend not to go with this macro. I just use this macro more for information. But yeah, it's on NQ, and if you have a micro, I mean, 30 points is really easy to do, right? Now you could also use this area. This could be your CI as you're changing the state, and then you could use this one here as well, right? But this is very safe. And then bring it to break even after this. Yeah, beautiful. Nice. Because at the last leg, which took the liquidity, yes, 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 yes. The only thing that worries me that I don't like here are those flat bottoms. I wish it was a wick. That's the only thing that would concern me a little bit. Let's see. Let's watch. Thank you, Raul. Welcome to the family. And see, also what concerns me a little bit is that we did not retest settlement price. So this red dotted line is settlement price. Now we did go through it here, but we did not retest it anyway before we went up. There's a lot of little things left here in this area for me that I'm like, okay, well, that's more interesting maybe for when we go to the downside. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. I agree. We still did not really. Well, we did do it here though. Let's see. Oh, I do. Well, no, you're okay. I mean, you've got a beautiful trade, and I think we are going to go into this area here anyway. So, but it might be very. Here it's going already, right? Let's see. Hey, listen, we took out a monthly midpoint, and it's definitely going up. You just don't want to be caught in a wick to the downside, so it's hard to enter. Um, you mean no DBT? You're talking about Anonymous? He's in the group already. He's here. He's already sharing. He's got the best trade of the morning. You're talking about Anonymous, right? But hey, maybe he wants to be anonymous. So, but Anonymous, you're in already, right? We've got such an awesome group already. I mean, it's just really. I just can't be more happier with this group of people. Hey, Anonymous, people want more of you. Are you in the Discord already? And I was like, oh no, don't give me the attention. And my name is Anonymous for a reason. Shut up. Shut up. Don't give me attention. Hey, that's when you are the only one that made a good trade. That's what you get. No, I'm just joking with you. Oh, really? Okay, well, welcome. DBT is like, yeah, Iris talks too much. We need people who just takes a trade when she's talking, right? Oh, I guess that's my, I think I have my Discord on the background, so I'll switch it off. I think it makes sense. switched off for now. The price rebound upwards, the extension of the daily low on November 6th. Well, more importantly, there is the monthly 50%, the wick. That was actually my weekly objective, but that's exactly this line here. That's the 50% of the monthly wick. And I never thought we would go there yesterday already, because today is a news day, but we hit it exactly, and now we're sort of like bouncing it off. And there are more points you can use. So yeah, we're definitely bouncing off, but I do think we have room to the downside, so we're just going up to go further down. So this, I think this is just going to be a retracement. I am thinking this is the manipulation distribution to the downside. So this might just be the manipulation move. So we'll see. I'm okay to miss it but if we have a nice retracement to the downside, I'm going to enter to. I think this is really a valid area for this move, but we'll see. Maybe we'll see what it's going to do. It's just going to consolidate now, so I'm happy that I didn't enter because I don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe we have a next macro coming, right? So we still have room to the 702 to the downside. We have quite a bit of a gap here on the daily as well. But hey, it could also just be it. This could be it, and we could go all the way back up. We'll see. I want to see. It's so nice when people see different things in the chart, like what Raul was saying. He says the price rebounded upwards of the extension of the daily low of November 7. Let's have a look what you're looking at, because it's always good to have more. Day 7th of November. Where is 7th of November? See, I'm looking at this gap here as well that we might get into, because it's still within the IPTA levels. 7th of November. Here you go. Yes, it's interesting, right, Raul, that you can use those old, that it refers back to those old, even though I've noticed that as well. And it's funny that you mentioned it, because I'm actually studying it, because I don't know enough. I use different levels, but when you see lows and you have price action afterwards, it sort of like always takes out these lows. If you can reuse these lows at some point, right? But I'm still looking into that, because sometimes I'm still also with the other wicks, like, okay, but which one is to be used when? Is it in order, or is it you go back from left to right? Or are we is the next move we're going to take this one out, right? Even though we are here, we have all these candles, but then next move will be this one, right? Or when are we going to use these ones? But I noticed that as well, that we can reuse those old lows, even though we already have candles going through them at a later stage. So I'm really interested how do you define, is there like it's the same with wicks, because I'm really getting into those premium and discount wicks as well, and sometimes when there's more of them, it's sort of like, okay, I'm testing it out, which one to use when, and I've sort of like noticed there is a sequence you can start using, but it's still too soon for me to really elaborate on it, because I'm still in a testing phase. So I'm not really getting into that too much, because I'm not really sure, so I don't want to, confuse people with my own confusion. But I find it I'm looking at it as well, but for me, Raul, it was the monthly, let me show you, and that was my weekly objective, literally. That was this monthly wick here, which I graded, like it's ICT's latest. You see this monthly wick here? and we hit 0.5. We went obviously below, but then you can also use this wick here a little bit, right? And it'll give you some information, but that you can, people who are interested in that can figure it out themselves. I'm not going to put it on the chart to not complicate things, but for me, the 0.5, and I thought, okay, we're going to get a firm reaction here, and as we are, right? We are getting that now, so. And then on the daily, we have this little gap here. So I'm sort of like, okay, are we going to go up? Because we have a daily wick here as well. So this is now a discount wick. So what most likely what we're going to see right now is, let's see if we go into 50% of this wick here. Let me mark it because it's important. How far up are we going to go into this wick now? On the daily. See, we still have some room to go, right? I mean, we could, oh, look at that. That is 2581-ish. Max is exactly 0.5 of the premium of the. Okay. 25, 5 here. I think we have a lot more room to the upside. Hey, trading is never meant to be easy. That's why 90% of the people lose money. It's not really that complicated, Emir trades. Yeah, I think we all want to go long, but we have to find a good entry. So Dean Hung, Anonymous had a good entry. We didn't. I was still busy going over analysis. I missed the good entry. So for me, it's when I hit 2 standard deviation. I just want to be a little bit. I'm very conservative, especially also looking at the price action on the left. I'm like, okay. Are we going to go in chop, or are we going to retrace, or are we going to go on further? I do see that we have much more room to the upside, but I just don't want to get chopped up or have me wicked out. So I can't enter in this area, unfortunately. So I have to wait and just accept if I miss the trade, or hope for a better entry if we get one. And at some point you'll get a better entry. If not, it is what it is. No, and then it'll come later on because I think we have more room to the downside. Then I'll get a nice short in PM or AM session or in pre-market because I just think this is going to be a retracement. I think we're just having so higher time frame. This is a retracement, and on the lower time frame, it's a full market maker buy model at the moment. So. But when you see this on the left, I'm just cautious. I would rather have it, suppose it just pops up at some point and then I miss it, that's okay. But if you don't have a good entry, you just want to be careful. Yeah, and that's the point, right? And that's for me, the difficult part, waiting as an impatient person. So I'm working on it, and that's just as valuable as well, I guess. If you don't have a good entry, and like Anonymous has a stop already at break even, so he's good. He doesn't care what happens. Obviously, he wants it to go up, but it's okay. He will not lose on this trade, no matter what. Now it's highly unlikely that he will lose on this trade, considering that his stop is below the chop here. So I guess maybe that's a lesson too. Being okay losing a trade, not being in a trade and just waiting if you missed it. But hey, I'm an AMD trader, so accumulation manipulation, and I take the D. I want to take the D. So if I am correct in my analysis, which could be wrong, if this is the manipulation move and I catch the distribution move, my day is still good. But if this was the manipulation, which I don't think, but it could be, and sometimes you're off when you identify the manipulation. But I've been wrong. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, I've got TP1 and TP2, and it doesn't take TP2, and because I thought it was the distribution move, but it was just merely the manipulation move on the higher time frame. So that's why I'm more okay to wait sometimes. But when I miss the distribution move, then I get annoyed. Then you're going to see me get upset. Yeah. Look at ES. Okay. Let me have a look at ES. I haven't looked at ES for a while. Oh. Oh, that's actually very clean. Are you in ES, Dean? That's actually pretty awesome. Yeah. Hey, listen, it's going up. We know that, but we need a good entry. I mean, it is really, it's quite clear. And I have this, for me, if I would have gotten in, this would be my exit for London session, or for until 4:30. Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens. I still have I st let's see how far it's going to go down. Let's see if we can get some retests. Let's see if we can get an entry. Maybe our patience is being rewarded. We are on a macro now. Now for a bullish move, I love it when we get the first two candles. I think it looks very bullish, to be honest. Already, I don't think it's going to go down a lot. 250. Yeah, no, this is bullish. I mean, I don't think we're going to get a movement. I think this is it. I think if you're willing to take a risk, maybe I should paper trade this one. No, I'm getting this is FOMO. But then again, the risk is quite small, 125. I put it here. But we still have this fair value. I keep on saying this is little gap here. No, I'm not even gonna do my paper trade because that's giving into my FOMO. I have to be okay with losing it, not having the trade. I have to be okay with it. Yeah. If we get back into this area, I'm gonna enter. If not, it's okay. You guys are so patient. I think there's not many people. I think a lot of you guys are just watching, right? I think you've got more patience than I have. I'm really impressed, actually, to be honest. I think most of you are really just watching and just being okay if you miss the trade and just watching. Hey, Emirates. No, I'm actually I'm from the Netherlands, but I live in South Africa, so almost the same time zone. What about you, Emirates? Where are you from? Um, oh, you know why you think I'm in the UK? I know why you think that because it's been fucking raining all day and it's fucking grey here now. The weather is really. I'm getting a little bit depressed of the rain and the wind that we had lately. So I think you're looking at the grayness and you're like, oh my God, she's in the UK. No, I'm in sunny South Africa, but it's not sunny. We have some sun, but it's really weird weather in it lately. Normally it's not like this. But if you're looking at the sky, I could be in the UK, yes, but it's a little bit less cold. That's the only difference. But this morning I woke up and I'm having some issues with water, with leakages and stuff like that because we had a lot of storm. They need to replace the roof in an area of the home, so I'm a little bit upset about that. It's just a lot of stress lately from the water and storm, and so it feels like I'm in the UK, yes. But the temperature is not as bad. But apparently, we have why I left. I came to my dream destination. Really, your dream destination, the Netherlands? It's well, um, I like South Africa because we have I love the wildlife. I love the bush. I'm actually when I moved to South Africa initially, I lived in the near Kruger Park, so in a wildlife reserve. Then now I moved to a little beach town. That's where I am right now. I'm now at the coast at KwaZulu-Natal. But I'll be going back to the bush. But the thing is Wi-Fi. So when you are in the bush, the Wi-Fi, that area is not as good as it is here. So that's why I'm staying here. Hey Shamo, how are you doing? And the Netherlands for me is too busy. I hate the weather in winter and in autumn, and it's just overcrowded. And it's just I just the Western lifestyle is just working. I had a good job there, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to do things differently now. So that's why I moved away from it. Hey, Joseph. Oh, you moved away from South Africa? Where did you live? Hey, listen, I will never live in a city though, in Durban or in Joburg or in Pretoria. Well, Pretoria is not that bad, to be honest, but I still would not prefer to live there. You know, it's so funny that people is where you are, where you start out, and some other people's dream, where I move away from, that's someone else's dream, and you're where you are. For Asian people, it's like heaven. Yeah, that's how life works, right? It's like you always want something different, or you want. I think it's also your life is in phases, right? You want to. I think that's where your growth is as well to do. I think moving around in the world. Yes, yeah, exactly. Netherlands is very expensive. I think it's over-regulated by the government, so it makes people weak. They are just they're not. I think that's how. I prefer a little bit more chaos. Wow, Shamo, he touches on something that is so true. It's the soil. I feel like I brought my two cats from the Netherlands, and it was so crazy. One was 21 years old, and she was like they just got home. It's so funny. You know that there are issues here, but I think it's something about I think the whole African continent. There's a lot of issues as well, but I think it's something I don't know. It's hard to explain. And yes, there are issues, and yes, it's not perfect, but um, it's chaotic in a way. But I guess that's what I prefer. Yeah, and you touch on the safety, right? I hear a lot of people from South Africa touch on the safety. I understand. I understand what you're saying. Oh, you used to live in Pretoria. Okay, gotcha. Belgium, countryside with a small stream at the back of my yard, beautiful and peaceful and safe. Yeah, so it's just, I guess it's where you come from and how you've experienced things as well. Um, it's funny, right? How that works in life. Hey, but nothing is set in stone for me, to be honest. I can, because of the trading, I can literally live anywhere in the world. For now, this is home, but maybe in a few years' time, it will be elsewhere. I like South America as well. I guess I like the dangerous places. I don't know. But where I'm living right now is definitely not dangerous. It's a very calm little place. It's small. We've got a very good farm watch. So it just depends on where you are and if things are well regulated. And some places are better than others, I guess, right? So, and that goes for any country, I think. I think you can live in any country and have a good life depending on where and what you're looking for, right? Yeah, Belgium has a lot of beautiful countrysides. The Netherlands also, by the way. But I still have to deal with the autumn and the winter, which I just don't like. Joseph, don't you miss the weather though a little bit? I mean, even though it's safe, but don't you miss the South African weather? Now I know Pretoria has more winter than the areas where I stay. Okay, let's see, guys. I want to see if. Thank you, Isaac, for subscribing. Welcome to the family. Well, we are just watching Chop, and so it's 3 o'clock, and we haven't moved yet. So it's likely your biggest, the biggest thing you miss, right? Yeah. Do you go on holiday here still? I mean, in all honesty, listen, your country, I think it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. We have the bush, we have the beach, there's mountains. If you want cold, you can go to the mountains. So I just fell in love with the country, to be honest. Um, hey, you're also in South Africa. Right. It's a big country. But hey, listen, KwaZulu-Natal now is not, I mean, it's crazy how the weather, it's been so much rain, so much wind. It's just, it is not as nice as I am used to in Limpopo. Um, I am a Lowvelder. I love the heat. I just love the Lowveld heat, I guess. But I'm going back to Limpopo within a year. So I just want to make sure that I can get good Wi-Fi and good connection in order to keep on streaming. That was a big issue all the time. So I didn't stream at that time anyway. So where are you, Abacus? Oh, you're in George. Oh, you are in George. Okay, I get. Yeah, I thought George. My brain is working now. I need another sip of my coffee. You are in George. You're not George, but you are in George. Yeah. So I resided last year 3 months in Nature's Valley. That was pretty awesome. I was 1 month in wilderness and 1 month in 3 months in Nature's Valley. That was Nature's Valley. I think one of the most beautiful beaches. And I just traded from there. Okay, so we are below the 3 o'clock. Let's see if we might get a little bit of a retreat. I don't know, but we might go a little bit further down. We might have to wait for the 320 or the 350 macro. My favorite macro, yay. Okay, honest question. I want to ask Anonymous. Like if I would be in a trade right now and I would have to sit through this, I get that that's my impatience working. Um, how do you manage that, Anonymous, when you're in a trade like this and it might even go down a little bit? I know you have a very good, you're a break even. Would you rather not at some point? That's what I'm struggling with. Then at some point, like, let me just get out, and if it goes back down, I'll just re-enter, and I just save myself some time. Now I'm streaming. Now I'm okay to be behind the computer, but I would also like sometimes, just get out of the trade, do something else maybe, and then watch it go lower and then re-enter. How this is always like, especially when it takes this long. What time is it? 2:20. So let's say we have another half an hour of chop So that means an hour of chop. How do you just stay in and just let it really go to your, if it would go down at some point, would you let it go break even, or at some point would you decide like, you know what, it's staying too long, let me just get out and I'll re-enter at some point? It's just an honest question, because I definitely, if I see this at some point, I'm like, you know what, if it hits 3 o'clock again, I'll just get out and I'll re-enter again. If it goes to my level here or here, for example. I'm just curious because, okay, well, we might get our entry. Set and forget. Okay, so you also set and forget. Okay, I like that, because that's discipline. That's just you get into it and you just accept whatever happens, right? Yeah. Now I have that mentality too, but it has to be within a specific, maybe max, like within a specific time frame. For me, it starts changing when it takes too long. But that's my impatience. Then I just like I don't want to. Um, but yeah, I'm just curious. Okay, well, I like that. You guys are very disciplined. I've got a very disciplined chat. I mean, you guys are gonna put me in. Now I really, if it would hit this, I would enter and I would. Okay, amateur said I forget exactly the same here. Yeah, I like that. It's good. Yeah, so once you have like confidence in your trade, it doesn't matter if it takes a little bit longer, right? And then you should be okay. You accept the risk no matter what. Mm. Hey Levi, how are you doing? Okay, we're almost at the end of the macro. Let's see. I'm gonna mark this little area. I don't think it's gonna go there on this for this run, but I think at a later stage today maybe it might stop there. Just I want to forget about it. Let me see on the 5 minute. How big is it on the 5? Okay, there's nothing on the 5. On the 3, nothing. Only on the 1. Okay, so it's not that significant. It's good because it's also like, I do think when we do go up, if it doesn't hit it now, we might use this little area maybe later today, but we'll see. 24,887. Then it went up and hit 25,12. Did you see my levels bounce tick for tick? That's crazy. Did you post anything, Levi? Did I miss something? Did you post anything? I missed. I didn't see anything. Well, I guess I missed it. 24,887. I don't see. Did you? Did I? I can't find them. Oh, here. I see. I see. Oh, I missed. Oh, okay. I missed it. Yeah, I see. I missed it. Oh, SMC Charter. He posted something behind after. Oh, I did. That's weird. I went over everything this morning. It was now a top tick the whole move for one you to see touch my level and drop sheet. Um, but I don't see where you did you the levels I put in last night as unknown. Hmm. So I see your post. The levels I put last night, I top picked the whole move. 451 UTC minus 8 touch my level and drop. Sheesh. I see that message, but I can't find your um, SMC trading. I don't see anything else. Look on NQ. I don't want to miss any messages, but DBT, Avenida. I just see that. That's the only message. I know, yeah. I know it works really well with you. You figured it out. Okay, well, keep them coming. I mean, we like that. Got such an awesome group of people. No, I know. I remember you asking, and I said, yeah, and of course, please do. But I did not. I just only see the text message. I can't find the one with the where it shows the points. But okay. Pam, 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 pam. Lucky Coal Brigade. Hello, I think you should short gold. He wants me to go over gold. I can go over gold, but I'm not too interested in gold lately. Oh, you got a good point, guys. This is the opening range gap from yesterday. So I agree with you guys. I I can't find the. Okay, well we'll have a look, Levi. I don't want to miss any posts, especially when they are so useful. Um, so yesterday opened range gap on gold. I'm on the 15-minute. So we opened up, we didn't go lower than a quarter, and now it's bouncing on this model. But it also, it went already back into the original consolidation. Am I still on? Just got a message that I got disconnected. It could also just bounce up. It could also just bounce up into this range again. But technically, it would say, okay, sell side, buy side, we're done. We went into original consolidation, so we might have moved down to the downside. I just don't like this whole area to them at the moment. Look at this. Where are we in the range? We technically went from, if you take this dealing range here, is this a range? Technically, you can also consider this a range here. Is this a range? No, there's another range. Let's take this one then. I think my internet is going up and down now. So my apologies for that, guys. If I'm for those people that are in gold, I wouldn't be too eager. I do think it's a short, but you could be wicked out as well because you're at the 50% of the range. It might go here, but it also could go right back up when it takes out this low here, Asia low. So yeah, I don't trust it at all. We're at the midpoint of the wick here as well, so I wouldn't be too eager to short it. I wouldn't do anything in this area, to be honest. Higher time frame, you're already in discount again. It could go a little bit low, but it also goes right back up, taking Asia's high. So for me, it's no touchy zone. So be careful with the trap on gold with going down. Yes, I do. I mean, why is this always happening? So annoying. Now I lost my two screens again. So I'll be a little bit careful with because Asia low is here. Mm, we have previous day midpoint has been already stepped into. Yeah, I wouldn't be too eager for that short, to be honest. Oh, look at the NQ. See, that's why I hate going over other things, because then you miss the move. But it's okay. I mean, okay, first presented fair value gap printed here. Let's see. Ah, rooster again. But Levi, I can't find that post with the 5 points, with the 5 levels. I don't know if it's me or am I not looking correctly? Did you post that above? I see one with the text, but I don't see the one with the post with the 5 points. Okay, here he goes. Here she goes. 318. I really like this level here. I really like it, but no, I haven't taken any trades today, Levi. I was talking and then going over analysis and then it stopped moving, and I thought we might get a better, I mean, the trade was here in this area. The second possibility would have been here. And now it's just chop. I don't really see a good entry, to be honest. I just don't, I cannot frame a good trader from here. So I'm okay to miss it. I'm more inclined for sure. I think we're going up to go down. So I'm actually, so no trades yet for me. I don't know, Shamo. I don't use MT5. I only use trading view and Tradeovate and Rhythmic for my live account. So maybe someone in chat, if they use MT5, can help you. Is there anyone in chat that uses MT5 and knows if there's any upgrades on the mobile version, specifically iPhone? Shamo's asking. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm getting more, I'm getting better at just not being in trades and accepting that if it goes but I do sometimes I do get a little bit. I can feel it again. I want to. Yeah, we scalp. You know, this is so funny that I just want to say something about um, scalping and using 30 points, because if we have new people that are new here, 30 points is not a scalp for when I'm just trying to go back when I just started to get better in trading, because for me it's also like I don't even take trades if they're under 50 points anymore, which I actually want to change a little bit, especially because I'm streaming. But when I started out and started to get better and better, for me even 5 to 10 points was still, even though we can consider it a scalp, I found that really an achievement. So I actually don't want to call 30 points a scalp anymore. Now I understand if you're more experienced, we are thinking, but I just want to, for the people that are new, a 30 point is like really something that you can only look up to and you wish you could take. So I just want to be careful to keep that a little bit separate and really try to define a scalp like something we take 5 to 10 points max. But you know, for someone who's new, a scalp, I think 30 points is like really something that you're looking, is not considered a scalp, and it's something that is more than a scalp, I think. So, but hey, I get it, because for me also, I'm not very interested in 30 points most of the times, but I want to change that. And Chad is going to help me um, get better in scalping already. So, um, but I think we have to be a little bit careful calling a 30 points a scalp, right? Because for new people as well, because it might be a little bit demotivating because they're like, oh my god, I don't even know how to get 30 points. Well, even when you start getting 5 to 10 points, um, it's actually really good. Shemo, didn't you ask that yesterday as well? Or didn't I go over that already? How I managed studying ICT life and work? For me, it was life. ICT and trading was my life, right? I studied 8 hours per day minimum. So didn't I go over that yesterday or 2 days ago? But if you have the time, I mean, you have to have the. If you work, I know it's a little bit more challenging. It's you have to, but um, if you're in the possibility to put in the time and utilize it, because it's a present, and you can speed up the process as well. But yeah, it takes time. But then for me, it got my full dedication. There was no plan B, because I wanted to live. I wanted to move away from the Netherlands. I'm not allowed to have a South African job because I'm not South African. So there was no plan B for me. So I had to make it work. So I just thought, I think there's an edge, but hey, if I need to work for it and I need to study to find that edge, I have to put everything in it. And so did I. So I did. There was literally no plan B. There was a plan B. I could go back to my old job, which I didn't want to, which go back into my IT background, but then I would do the same work that I actually left. So that was not, the point was like, no, I just want a different life. And I really enjoy tape reading and I enjoy trading. So I thought, okay, if ICT, when somebody pointed out, and I started studying it, I thought, okay, you know what? Now I see that I can really get the logic behind price action. I can really calculate things. I can really, name, because how he has named certain things, it was like, okay, all the PDRAs is like, I never saw the market in that way. And that was like, okay, now I can see, I can name things and I can look at it in a different way. And then I took that and I just grabbed it with two hands and I just studied it and I just really, then the time element came in and starting to realize, because in the beginning I didn't understand when people say time is more important than price. And what do you exactly mean? Why is time more important than price? Because it's sort of like a vague thing to say, right? What do you mean? Because time is there anyway. I mean, and The moment I really started understanding why time was important, more important than price, then things really started to click for me. And that's because of the algorithm, right? The algorithm is scripted against time because that's the one thing that can't be manipulated. So that's why time is more important than price. And it's not the time itself, but what happens at specific times and what is referred to back to specific times. So it's time cycles that are being used because it's a benchmark. Think about it. If somebody would ask you as a programmer, okay, you know what, you have to write the algorithm for me. Well, how are they going to do that, right? Think about that. Are they going to use the x-axis or the y-axis? I mean, how are you going to script against price? Does it ever get back? Like say 22,000 is scripted, and price never gets back to 22,000. How are you going to script something against that, right? So the only thing they can use is time. And time is the only thing that cannot be manipulated. Because there will always be the same amount of minutes in an hour, there will be the same amount of seconds in a minute. Why do I use the 4 o'clock a lot? It's not that 4 o'clock is important, but things happen at 4 o'clock. The algorithm either creates an imbalance, or it creates liquidity, or it does whatever it does. And then it refers to, at a specific time, back to that range. That's how it's scripted. So again, so my total journey was 6 years. I started with retail, then somebody pointed ICT, and then I thought, okay, well, it's just for free. And I thought, really? I did see the name come by, but I wasn't really interested because I was still doing volume profile and TPO market profile, which was not, I don't consider that bullshit, but there was some missing links for me. And then ICT, and I'm like, oh my god, this is it. And then I started really, I was like, okay, this is where my missing links are now, where I can connect some dots. But it took me 1.5 years. Let's say let's make it 2 years. 1.5 years, and then I became profitable. But I'm still studying, but not as extensively as I used to. But it was 1.5 years extensive studying. Then I started to become profitable, I should say. That's a better way of putting it, because it's not like everything goes in one, it's there, boom, everything clicks and you're done. No, it goes in phases. You understand something and then it clicks, but then, you have like this, you don't go up, oh, it clicks and you're done. No, it just goes in phases, right? You start understanding things and you're like, oh my God, I'm there. And then you go back a little bit and you're like, oh no, shit, I still don't know everything. And then, you have to dive deeper, and then you have another few months of profitability, and then again you might have another stagnation. It looks like I might get my level though. It's not a straight line. It goes back and forth, and then you have the emotional side. Life gets in the way, and now we're here. And I still, and now I'm getting really good at larger moves. Yesterday I had 580 ticks. How many? It's 150 points on NQ. But again, I'm making 2 recaps. But again, my poor stop loss placement and my trading will be a point of, I have to put them in the recap because I got lucky. That was 2 days ago. I got lucky and I got like a lot of points on NQ, but I wasn't stopped out. But that was just pure luck because I trilled too fast again. So even though you grow, you get a new issue to work on. So now I have to work on that. That's why I'm very interested in, like, for example, what Anonymous is doing with this trade, for example, because if it goes down all the way, like I would hate this when, even though my stop would be here and I would see this, I would rather not be in it anymore. But then again, if you still have confidence it goes up and you have a good stop loss placement, you don't worry. You can go away and you don't care even if it, goes back to it 1 tick, because it's either a break even or you still are a little bit in profit, and you don't care because you know what you're doing. But I would rather than, oh my God, I'm gonna go higher because I just sort of like that's the impatient part of me. And sometimes I hear it, when I watch myself back, I say many times, oh, just stop me out and just get me out of here. I just want to get out. It's just like, oh, I'd rather just be out of the trade. So an 8R trade becomes a 2R trade sometimes. And I get back in, but it sucks, right? I mean, you just want to be in one trade. But that's where my improvement is now, where I'm have to focus on. But I have a lot of large trades, don't get me wrong, but you'll see my stop loss placement is poor. Not my placement, but my trailing. It's too fast. I go too fast and too, but I do like what's happening here. I think my concern might be correct. This one was my concern. I do have a little bit, I might have to wait. Let's see. But yeah, Shemo, it's a long journey. I mean, I know where you are. We talked about it, and but you have to embrace it. It's a really, if you, the most important thing is that you don't make sure that you don't need the money coming from trading. And if you can manage that, and you can just take the time that you need, Shemo, it's such a beautiful journey. I don't know if anyone can shares that with me, because even though it's long and it's hard, you learn so much from yourself. You learn your weaknesses, and I never thought that I never thought that I would be over trading, because I'm so disciplined, and I told myself those things, and then I would, you can put me in a casino and I would not lose, and I would not be feeling that I have to put in my money, but hey, put me in front of a chart and I'll start over trading. And I was like, what the F? What's going on here? I'm like, why am I losing an account again? I know what, I have my technical analysis, I know my model, but I'm still, and I'm like, what is going on? And I got really confused by that, because I'm like, I thought I'm so disciplined, but apparently not in this regard. And other little things, I'm like, what? It's a mirror, and it's not a good, I mean, listen, you see all your ugly sides, they come out. And I don't know if it's really ugly, but it's something that doesn't help you in your trading journey, right? And we all say the same thing. Oh, I'm not greedy. Oh, yeah, you're greedy as fuck. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not greedy, but hey, I'm greedy in the charts. You make 500 bucks and you cannot stop because you want to make more. I mean, did I make 500 bucks with my old job per day? You know, but when you see it in the chart, I'm like, oh my, I'm getting back in, and then you lose your account because of that 250 extra you want for that day, for example. Just giving an example. I mean, so trading does weird things with you and emphasize your weaknesses, definitely. And we all have them. We all have them. So for me, not being in this trade is a good thing. Like, I'm not getting in. Why? Because I didn't tap into this imbalance. It's just not, I mean, it might still run, but I don't trust it. It's 333. I'm now actually getting very excited about the 350 macro, the 350-410 macro coming up. So let's see. We might get our entry. Did we close this gap? No, we still have to do the one here on the 4 hour. Hey Mukesh, I'm from the Netherlands, but I live in South Africa now. So I'm based in South Africa. Well, guy, in all honesty, when I see a flat bottom and a volume imbalance below it, I am not going to take that long at that position. I'm just gonna wait, miss it or wait. There's too many little algorithmic signatures for me to just take it. When it gets so close to this area, we're not in a we're technically not in a macro. So I'm just gonna wait. or miss it. Hey guys, you enter it. I'm not gonna enter. It's not good enough for me. Ludovic is. Oh, kunnen we Nederland? Oh, you're. Yeah, Mukesh Kumar. I thought you were. Yeah, your name Kumar is sort of like Indian. Now you don't have to be in India, but are you not on the Nifty? Most Indians are on the Nifty at this time. Oh, Ludovic, do you really want to start a Dutch group? Sajad, yeah, I just have my. I'm okay to miss the trade. Let me put it that way. I would have only entered if it would go into this area. If it goes, because it still could go down. Uh, well, yes, and that's my thing that I'm working on. So also being, so Ludovicus, let me ask you this: is it a problem if it's in English, or because if you want more Dutch, we can do that on the Discord. I mean, I don't want to bother non-Dutch people with our technically not so nice language. Same with with the Afrikaans. For those Afrikaners, I know we both don't have the most beautiful language, so so I do not train. I'm mostly training Go. Okay, okay. Well, yeah. So normally that's why I don't have much Indians during London session here because they're most of the time the Nifty. So I always miss you. I have you a lot of on the New York PM sessions, but so also why I'm a little bit hesitant, Sayed, just to clarify why I'm hesitant, because it's not just I'm hesitant, because I'm always trigger. I love to trade, but you see this area on the left. I'm sort of like, when I see this, I'm very hesitant to get in on this side, because when you see chop on the left and a lot of manipulation and a lot of wicks, um, I'm sort of like, okay, you know what? As a distribution trader, I would rather wait and let this play out and then and enter when when they finalize this ugliness. Because when you see it on the left, most likely we'll have the same. We could have the similar. It's not always, but most of the time, and you can already see it happening, right? Back and forth, back and forth. So I would not be surprised that we do make a lower low. I see another little one here on the 5 minute. You see this one here, this little imbalance. They don't leave these imbalances for nothing. Now it doesn't have to go there now. They could go to a high level and then go back into, but I just don't trust it, and I'm waiting for the 350 macro. So I'm actually hoping that we might get one, because I think a lot of people are. If I hear people saying, "Oh, you have to go long," I know, like, okay, they're fooling people now. It's a trap. A lot of time it's a trap. Why? Also, we have a wick here. Let's see if this is a rejection block here. I actually see a rejection block right over here coming. Let's see if they're gonna reject it or they're gonna go. So for me, being able to identify chop and being able to identify not to get in is my biggest win of 2025. And I said that yesterday. And so far, I don't know, the people that have been, most of the times when I've done that, it was a good decision. Now, I am ready to accept that if I'm wrong, I miss a trade. But so far, it was actually a right call for me. It was actually, I did not miss a trade. I just missed a losing trade so far. And it was quite a few times that I'm on stream and like, okay, wow, that's interesting. So I'm just listening to my gut feeling. and sometimes you just don't know exactly what it is. Like, okay, what am I missing? But it just sort of like tells me either one thing. I need 3 or 4 confluences lining up before I enter a trade, and especially being a distribution trader, I really want to have a large move that I can frame over 50 points. If I can't do that with a proper risk reward, I just don't even enter. And also, if I'm like going to this level here, I'm like, yeah, okay, it's just 30, not even 30 points anymore. My risk is not, I cannot define a proper risk. So I just decide not to engage and being okay to miss the trade if I miss it. But most of the time so far, when I did not engage, it was actually a good call. For me, if you don't scalp. For the scalpers, yeah. Hey Annie, Ankit. I'm from the UAE. How are you right now? I'm doing great. How are you? It's so lovely to have people from all over the world. How are you doing? Now let's see. Like I think it goes both ways, right? Saying you're okay with the risk is also are you okay with not being in a trade when you can't really frame. Like it's for me really hard to frame a trade from here and there's a volume imbalance below it, and outside macro as well. That's another point. So it's like two things. Let me see. I hope it maybe touches here and it goes back down again. Let's see. Hey, Bart, I just woke up. I woke up at 4 a.m. here, and it's 9. It should be now. What time is it here? I'm already. I am the boss. You think? No, listen. My day started here. I'm in South Africa. I'm on a different time zone. I sleep in Asia, so I trade London session and New York session. But in Asia, I have to sleep. So that's the only session I can't trade. Yeah, I live in South Africa now, but I'm from the Netherlands originally. But I'm not going back to the Netherlands. I would rather I might go to South. I'm happy now here where I am. But hey, nothing is set in stone. I might move in a few years again, go to another country, see where the universe takes me. Thank you for that. Well, we do need our sleep sometimes. Okay, now let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. But you can see clearly on the 4 hour, it's a distribution candle, right? So we are going up, but it's going up very slowly. We are at 2.5 now. Let's see what's going to do. You are retailers like me or smart money like take trades in very high side. I don't think smart money, if you think like smart money, it doesn't have to be high size. I think we're all retail traders, but we trade SMC. I try to trade with the smart money, but it doesn't have to mean that I trade the same amount like the smart money. But you understand it is like you understand how smart money books, right? How they think, where they're going to take their position and where they take it off. So I don't think smart money, well, yeah, we want to be we are retailers, but we are smarter than the average. We want to be smarter than the average retailer. Let me put it that way. If that makes sense, right? Okay, let's see if it goes now to this. And this is my this would have been my TP for that trade, but yeah, I'm okay to I think it's going high, but it just I just didn't want to take it with this volume imbalance below it. You know, I can frame a trade here, but I'm just not interested in this small. It's too small for me to be in. If this is my TP for now, it is just not worth it to get in here or even in. And I would never enter a trade with a volume imbalance below me, which is still open. I would not do that. I'm okay to miss it. Um, and this very slow price action is also not what I don't I just try not to engage in because as an impatient person I would rather go in, get out, get paid. Hey Bernie, I'm every day London and New York, and I did open up an X account, but I try to stay away from social media a little bit, as weird as it sounds. Literally only had to do the um, this is my social media with the Discord that I have. So just to keep it a little bit like a really close little family, which is really working, to be honest. I think it's really, see, it's going to that level now. Boom, this would have been my TP here. This would have been my TP, this area, for now. But the macro is starting, so it might go higher. Um, oh, please don't spam the chat, okay? If you start to, don't copy paste in the chat. I hate that. Just post it once. Oh, listen, one more time and you're going to be banned. No copy paste. People are not stupid. I have visited India in the past. Actually, a long time ago, and I traveled 6 months to India. Beautiful country. But don't copy paste again, because people, it's just that spamming, and you can say whatever you want, but do not copy paste. No one goes to India. Bowser, that's not true. I went to India. I traveled 6 weeks to India. It was a beautiful. It was a very beautiful experience, though. But that's not true. Okay, let's see. So this was my TP. This would have been my TP, and I would have been done here if I would have taken the trade. So, how are you doing, Bowser? Oh, Bernie, you're going to. Oh, you're from Ohio. Yes, yes. It's very late or early. It's depending on how you put it. Sleep well. Okay, we're in the macro now. Most likely it will. Let's see what it's going to do. It will go a little bit more up, I would think. Give two or three down close candles and then continue the move. Or are we going to go back here? Second shift late. Okay. Now this takes also a lot of. I mean, being in. It's just. I think it just takes as much as patience being in the trade or being out the trade when you have to go through this. think both are deserve a medal. But we are we are above the 3 o'clock. Let's see what the 4 o'clock, what the 350 macro 410 is going to do. No, it's weird. I mean, it doesn't have any, I think it's trolling. Most of the time it's just trolling. The moment people start doing that, I made a video on trolls. I do give people one chance, but give them the benefit of the doubt. But when I have zero tolerance for trolls. I identified 3 trolls: baby troll, intermediate troll, and professor troll. And Medusa mode comes in when I think, okay, you're more than a baby troll, then you're just either banned, deported, or turned into stone. Zero tolerance. Because no, you need to, I think, yeah, I'm still a very small channel, but it's actually growing pretty fast for just being 4 months in. So you have to be aware that, the trolls are coming, and it means you're doing something good, I guess. But I'm not going to, I don't want to put up with that bullshit, to be honest. There's a lot of weirdos out there. So, what if went opposite? You would say I did good. No, I'm just very honest and very open about, also when I miss the trade and I hate it, I would be, I'm annoyed sometimes, but Sayat, I'm okay to miss this trade because it's very slow. I'm a distribution trader. I trade larger and preferably faster moves if I am able to identify the AMD, so the accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So if this would be the manipulation move and it just trickles up, 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 I'm okay. It is not how I like to trade. So I really, kudos to Anonymous, who's in the trade and stays in. He has a really good entry. And I technically never take the trade in this macro. I always highlight this. If you would have been with me a little bit longer, you would understand my trading style a little bit better. I use this macro for information but this time, this macro actually gave actually the opportunity to get in or use the opportunity, and I did not do that. And if I miss this information and I'm too late, I have to accept it. And then when it goes down here and I see this little volume imbalance, I just cannot do that. I cannot justify a trade getting in this here when I just see this. It's just, for me, yes, trolls tell you that you're doing something good, right? I mean, they come when you're starting to get bigger, and but yeah, yeah. And when I was in a very bad mood lately, and then they just got in, and then I was like, okay, I snapped at one of them. Later on, I snapped at other people, but yeah. So I am parsed. I don't look. I don't do any. I don't do any stocks. I cannot say anything about it. Now let's have a look at this here. Now you got to get thick skin for. I think that's the downside of growing. You get thick skin. You don't really care what people say. If they come into chat, some people will say like, oh, I see another comment that might have irritated me before. So many lines, for example. Yeah, well, that's how I trade, and I need those lines make me money normally. So if it's too much for you, if you cannot deal with it, I'm sorry. I really am. Well, I'm actually not sorry, but it is what it is. I guess there's other people that trade with lesser lines on their screen. So things like that, it comes with the territory, I guess. But it's okay. And trolls are also free entertainment sometimes, so it's all fun sometimes. But you just have to make sure you don't get annoyed by it. Now, the question that I am asking myself is, when will I enter a trade? What will be good enough for me? Okay, so we reach 1.5 here. Okay, let's see. So this is Anonymous as a exit at 25.83. Beautiful trade, Anonymous. Well done. Well done. You stick with it. You had a great stop loss. Well done. So the macro, most likely the macro, before it's 358. We'll get another we still have 4 to 410. Let's see what it does. Most likely it will still run. Let's see. 351, 349, 54. Oh, are we done? Let's see, 350. Okay, maybe it's done. We hit this level here. This was a volume imbalance plus another level that I marked out. So this would have been my TP here. Let's see if the rest of the macro, the 4 o'clock is going to print here. Yeah, but sometimes it's annoying. But hey, it's part of the deal. And you know what? I mean, in all honesty, it has been such an awesome experience. And I mean, the group of people that we have right now is so awesome. So it will not be, I don't think it will, those few people that come in and they try to just disrupt. I mean, they don't even get a chance really to continue, because the chat will jump in very quickly as well. Okay, let's see what 4 o'clock brings. My favorite time. I want to, you know why I'm so interested in this area, guys? Because this area is this is also like almost formed within this macro. This macro always plays a big role in my analysis for London. And you know, as you already have noticed, that I can't let go of this little volume imbalance for some reason, right? Let's see, 4 o'clock. Yeah, let's see if the move is done. I might be interested in. So this was the high that I had identified, and I want to see what price is going to do now. It's going to go higher, or are we going to retrace here? It's a strong reaction. Let's see it 4-3. Okay. I think I'm getting in a short here, but I think it's going to be a short. And you know where to? Let me just watch this. Okay. Let's see, what time is this? 4:01, 4:02. 4:03. Hmm. I think this short is going to go in this direction now. What's the time of year? Sayat. Oh, did I say it? Well, let me try the whole name, Sayat, and then grade me again. Sayat Hussain Mugari. Mugari. That's I like that name. Mugari. Sayat Hussain Mugari. But I'm gonna call you Sayat. I try to, because all the names are sort of like you don't want to butcher any names, but sometimes they're really difficult. And they're sort of cryptic, and then you have to find out that you have to sort of like pronounce them in a different way. But okay, let's see. If this remaining of this, you could frame a breaker here, and you could say, okay, yes, we got it, but are they going to respect everything? Because now, if this is a dealing range, hey, listen, guys, when you have this kind of slow price action, and it will go to it will finalize it at some point, but then, you know, the move that comes afterwards might be much easier to trade. And this is not a dealing range because you've got equal highs at the moment here. But the question is this the high of London? Did we create the high at 352? it was interesting because a lot of the times that you want to look at the highs, that is, most of the times the high and the low is created between 2:30 and 3 and 4 o'clock. Where's 2:30? That's exactly here. We have this at 2-ish, and this was the one at 1:50, the macro start. 1:50. Now, is this the high? Are we going to leave this for later for pre-market or New York open? Or are we going to continue? Let's see. 4:07. 3 more minutes to go on the macro. Now, I would definitely, if I journal, I journal very extensively, but for me, it was like, okay, my TP was good enough for me. If I said for the London session, I consider obviously London session. I always try to look at like what would be the high between 2:30 and 4. That was okay. My TP was good, but I never found a good entry. There were too many ifs and buts for me. But I will go over definitely like, okay, what if I had to get in? Where would I gotten in? What could I have done better? My TP would have been this. That's okay. But then, you know, if you missed it here, what would be the second opportunity? What would be the third? And if you missed that, what would have I done? So I always reverse engineer to see like, okay, next time, what would have I done? What can I do better, right? And then again, this would have been a trade that I would have preferably. It's just such a long time. I would have gone in here. It's almost 2 hours. That's just too long for me to be in a trade. And then from here, if this is my TP, I'm just not interested. If I want 50, 60, 70 points minimum, it's just, this move is just too small for me. Because if I would have gotten in here, my risk would have been here. But I still had this volume imbalance here, which is sort of like bugging me. I would have used a breaker maybe. Looking at my breaker trade. I still can't see a proper entry. I mean, I just want to know, did anyone take a good trade after, let's say, I'm really curious, after 3 o'clock? Did anyone frame a proper trade with a proper risk management? Not just market order. You know, sometimes I do market order in and I just know where it's going and I do that. But just really a good framing of a good risk reward trade after 3 o'clock. Just curious. Because I can't frame it for myself. Yeah, we did a retest here. Let me see. Yeah, this is this area. I never would do this. I would never get in this area. This would be a big retest here, maybe. But then again, yeah, I'm just going for this. It's not worth it for me. It has to be in this area, and I cannot frame it. So I'm just curious, did anyone frame a good trade with a good risk reward that I'm not seeing? Now we also have to accept that we had such a large move in Asia that the moves are maybe a little bit slow for the time being. Let's have a look at the 15. A lot of wicks. Wicks means slow price action, going back and forth. Hey, Cozy, how are you doing? This just means a lot back and forth now. So this is low probability area. Only a good entry will get you through this. So we tap into previous day low, right? Here, did we tap into it? I think so, right? Let me just double check it. Yes, exactly. So we did tap into it. So that, obviously that gives a retracement. A little gap here. What else do we have here? Do we need to go? It doesn't look like we have to go low, but we do have a little gap here again. I do think that might be that little gap that incorporates my one here with 2. We've got some suspension blocks here. I'm from the Netherlands, but I live in South Africa, Majur. Okay, I like my so my TP would have been good enough, but the question is, are you going to go down? I want an entry in this area. But the question is, are we going to go further back up, right? The question is, do we need to go further up? Or are we done with the 4 hour? I don't think so. We're done with the 4-hour distribution. I think we can go a little bit higher. But are you going to go lower than this? It's highly unlikely. No. I've got this here. This has been mitigated. This has been rejecting here. Let's see. I'm curious. Sayat, I'm married to NQ. And that's a problem for my boyfriend sometimes. He fights with NQ. He has to share me. No one gets in between me and NQ. NQ gets my devoted time, and he has to accept it, and he does. So, well, no, I'm not in the bush. I wish I was. I'm going to go back to the bush, but I'm in KwaZulu-Natal at the coast right now. But I live in a nature reserve, so that's why you see all the trees. But I do have monkeys here and snakes and that kind of, but not you can't see a giraffe walking by in this area here. But in Hoedspruit, I'm originally from Hoedspruit. I'll go back to Hoedspruit. I miss the Lowveld, to be honest. Okay, let's see. I want to see it go. Thank you, Sayat. I appreciate that. Especially at the end of the year, right? We have to think about things that make us happy and things that we want to do in life and things we want to improve. And just think in life in general, right? And what we have, what we can do better and how to help people. I think that's one of the most important things as well. Okay, I like this distribution move to the downside. I'm just still a little bit too slow for me to engage. Now, I'm thinking like if I would have taken this, let me see, because I did say this was my TP. If I would have taken a short here, my TP would have been above the 2 lines, but technically I would have done the 0.5. I would take in the mid of the wicks, and then it would be to my. You guys know what I've been referring to it a couple of times. This is my. I did say this is my TP, and I cannot frame a trade from here. I cannot enter from here, and it needs to go here. Let's see if this would be. I did not. I just don't. I'm not in the mood for it. It's just too slow for me. But I'm just sort of like, listen. If I would have taken that turtle soup, because I did frame this as TP. Next time I will. I mean, listen, guys. If I missed that one, okay. I was correct on my analysis, but I was not comfortable trading it. Let's see if we can make it to that area. That will be a risk reward 17.5. That's pretty good. I think that would be my highest. I've never had that though. I'll make it a little bit more. I mean, let's do the wick. But then again, if it would go over the wick here anyway, it would invalidate my trade. It would already invalidate going over the midpoint of these wicks. So I'm going to keep it that way. Now it was 17. It was not 24. Just don't exaggerate. This was it. And TP is lower. So it's going to be. Let's see if we can break this first presented fair value gap. I'll go to the 1 minute because I want to see how the 1 minutes are printing, because the first presented is here. Let me see if this. See, there was no. That was also for me when there's no first presented after 3 o'clock for such a long time. I hate that price action. If I may say that, if I may use that word. We do have a lot of gaps here. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can go into. You see also this candle hardly has any wick, so that's a lack of manipulation. I think it needs manipulation. So what you see a lot when you see, it does have a very small wick here, but very, very tiny. I'm almost considering this like a flat bottom. And when I see a flat bottom with a point of liquidity, I just cannot disregard that. See, and this is also very, it just goes, it equally goes as slowed down as it went up. But normally what you see is that when, that sort of might indicate that it's not done with the move yet. Let's see. Are you going to go into this inversion? Are you holding up here? 419. Let's see if the macro does, if it goes back up. Hey, I'm not sure either, but I really would like to see a proper retest of anything. Like if you would consider this a breaker, it already went down. If you consider this the whole move down of the breaker, we're still in it. So let's mark the breaker. I'll go on the 5 minute. Let's see if we still respect the bullish breaker. Let's mark the whole breaker, because technically the whole breaker will be this area. If we stay in this, we're still going to be bullish. Oh, there's not 5 minutes plus. The moment we go below this breaker, it validates the short for now. So let's see if we can go below the midpoint, or it's just going to go. We are I don't need volume indicator. Volume is useless for me. I want to be, if I'm in a trade, Sayat, I want to be in a trade before the volume, before retail starts getting in. So volume doesn't mean, that doesn't give me any extra confluence. It's useless for me. And, you know, in all honesty, most likely the volume will be very low. The price action already tells you it's low volume, there's no volume, it's just very slow, right? Because we get the holiday season and we'll have very slow price action. But even though when you have volume or not, you as a smart money concept, you want to be in when there's no volume at all. You just want to have the proper location to get in, and there doesn't have to be volume at that moment. You just want to get in specific areas, disregarding of volume or not. And you want to be before the volume starts getting in. So when retail starts getting in, you want to be positioned already. So it doesn't give you any extra. It doesn't give me any extra confluence. It's just actually just a distract. It just takes up screen time or screen space. Okay, so we're still respecting the breaker here. So, but you know, you see how slow it is. I mean, for me, I don't. I'm just wondering if really if someone is really interested in trading this. I find it difficult to understand, to be honest. But unless you already positioned yourself like anonymous, but if not, I mean, if you positioned yourself here, you already stopped out almost. I'm still, I don't know. I still don't trust it 100% for. It's just going to be going back and forth and to win time, right? Because it's just a matter of it. It doesn't have a lot to do, and it just needs to fill this 4-hour candle. And we sort of like already tapped into an important level here. So we already tapped into this level in this week. We might go a little bit further up, but we'll see. Could go. Okay, so the breaker, it did respect exactly the midpoint, right? So if you're in and you see that, that might give you some confidence for the trade. But we might have a rejection here again. So let's see. See, higher time frame, I just want to show you guys. When I always stay out when I see this, when I see all these wicks here. And you see them also, they form here as well. So most likely we will again go into this wick and go back down. And we also have wicks here. So the only thing that I know is going to happen is going back and forth. Now these wicks are in the breaker. So you could be sort of like, okay, I'm in the breaker, that's okay. But you can expect back and forth price action. This is the 15-minute chart. Let's go to the 5. Let's see what we have on the 5. Okay, well, I do think we're going to reject here in this wick and go back down again, maybe into, oh, we rejected here. We still, we'll see. But it's ugly. So yeah, I have to be honest. If I would be 100% sure, I would be in my evaluation, but I'm not even taking a paper trade on it. So I'm not sure. I'm just looking if it's, I'm just saying like why I am not confident in that trade. It doesn't mean I have to be right or that I really know. It's just sort of like if I see certain things, it just, I am missing either one or a couple of confluences for me to take a trade. If I don't see them, I just stay out. I've told myself that now to avoid losing trades, and if it goes into the direction that I thought, it's okay. Like I've said from the beginning, this is my TP, and it went to the TP, but I couldn't find a proper entry, so I missed the trade. And yeah, there were a few entries, but I didn't want to get in here because I mentioned that a few times, like okay, because it could slam down on me, for example, here, and go back into this ring, in this little volume imbalance, but it did not. It went to that TP. So I missed that. But also the amount of points were just not enough for me to take that trade, and risk reward wise, right? So technically I missed a trade from to here, which I actually could have taken, but it just wasn't good enough. So now I'm just framing, okay, if that's my TP, if that's the move in London, because I'm also using time. Okay, what if in London the high, London high is most of the time, it's also always mostly framed between 2:30 and 4 a.m. The high is being set for the London session. Not always, so we could still go higher. But I'm just thinking, okay, if that's the case, maybe my trade to the downside to this area, why the reason why I did not take this trade might work out. But still, I am not sure because I'm not even putting on a trade. So I'm just sort of looking like, okay, is that maybe the case? Or are we just stalling a little bit of time and going higher as we are actually respecting the bullish breaker? So just, I'm actually framing it both ways now, just to see. So it can touch that zone, but it can also just go up, right? Because it's still respecting the bullish breaker. So, and we are in a distribution candle to the upside. So technically, I'm like, okay, but when will it make it move to the upside again? Because it framed, it made the high before 4 o'clock. It's most likely that it will not take another high when we start being in pre-market of New York session. So might be 1 or 2 macros, so we might get some consolidation, or it's going to go through. So we're just going to watch. Just going to watch until one more macro and then we'll leave it. And then hopefully we'll get some better price action in the New York session. But it's always, I don't mind watching this to see what price it do, because you learn a lot from it, looking at time and what is it doing. But it's not about, for me, again, like now I have to be right, but just, okay, what could happen, right? It is just, what is it respecting, what is it disrespecting, and what does it tell me? The only thing that I got right was my TP. But it doesn't help me if I'm not in a trade, right? So I'm still missing a few things that I could have done, but the only thing is that I could have done better was entering this area, and I technically never enter in this macro. It's one of my rules. So, and then again, could I disregard this next time? Maybe, could be. Maybe I should have used this wick. So I'm going to investigate this wick here. Like, where did it go into? Maybe that was the missing information. There's always information that's out there that you miss and that you can incorporate at a later stage. Let me see, where did we go into? I'm using this large one here. I didn't really respect. It would have been different if it would be 50%. Didn't even go to 50%. Let's use this small one. Let's see if that gave it any information. I don't think so. It is too low, right? Yeah, it's too low. Nothing there. So yeah, it's still more bullish than bearish, to be honest. So 430, let's see. But so yeah, most important thing is actually to be able to just say, you know what, I'm just staying out. It's just not the price action I want to be in. You can still watch it, but for me, it's just more like, okay, you know what, too slow. It is so you can literally, it is actually seek and destroy. It just takes out, it creates liquidity. It's going to take out this high now maybe, and then it goes back into this low. It just goes back and forth, and the wicks tell you that. The large wicks on both sides on the 15 minutes show already that it's low probability. I'll show you again. You see this? All these ones. It's just a bunch of wicks are a bunch of gaps, and gaps just means it takes time to work them through, to balance out the imbalances, and they're just creating more imbalances here now as well. So, and because that's the case, we can go over gold quickly. Yeah, so gold is going into, look, Gold is very ugly at the moment. To be honest, I wouldn't be too exciting to. The only thing that I would say is that we have a opening range gap from yesterday, which is totally unfilled, so it could go a little bit lower, but it's so low probability as well for us, to be honest. It might trickle down a little bit, but the question is it going to consolidate here again? Look at all this. Yeah, I would mark the 50% of this of yesterday's opening range gap and see how it responds there. So that is exactly, where's the midpoint? That's this line here. If it can reach 4346, just see how it reacts there, if it's done, or if it might go back up, or is it ready to move further down. Up until that moment, I just really have it is just very unpredictable, and it's just sort of like ranging. And this is the only logic that I could use at the moment on gold. Same as on NQ, it's just very, I mean, NQ is actually more clearer than gold, to be honest. Look at this price action on the 1 hour, it's horrible, it's ugly, ugly, ugly. The 4 hour, what do we have in the 4 hour? It looks like it looks like you have a distribution candle to the downside, but then I see a bullish order block as well. So this could hold it down. Like I said, I think it could go a little bit lower, but then it could reject somewhere in this area again to go to the upside. Why? Because we've got so many wicks, it goes back and forth, back and forth. So that level that I said to you, the 4346, I think it might not even reach that level, to be honest. This is the quarter level. If I look at the levels now better, I think it could already reject here. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a gamble in this area, to be honest. And gold. Gold is even uglier now in this area than actually NQ is, because NQ is sort of respecting the breaker. And you can see the market maker, you can see the clear, if you just sort of like delete some of that distortion and you can see a market maker model, right? Let's go to the 15-minute. You can clearly see that we made a turn here. We left New York low though intact. We still have Asia low intact. We clearly made a turn here, and we just either retracing or it's a full reversal, either or. But I don't think it's a full reversal. I think we're just retracing and going up into that range that we created yesterday. Now, I love IFUGs. Well, so yeah, I wouldn't say it's not smooth at all, but it's just sort of like more. It's just sort of like it is clearer, but because of the wicks, it's going back and forth, right? Wicks are gaps, and gaps means imbalances, and imbalances need time to be balanced out. So that's why you have this delay in the slow price action. And I tend to not engage in that. But you see how clear it is, clearer that it uses the bullishness is still clear, right? It just takes more time to work its way through those wicks, and then it will take out this high, and most likely it will take out this high and some other highs, because it's a distribution candle. You can see the 4-hour distribution. It's not going to hit this level anytime soon. We'll see. But for that, I love IFUGs. The best IFUG, look on the 15-minute, this would have been the best entry at 2 o'clock. Talking about IFU, the retest of this inversion here, right over here at 2 o'clock. That would have been the best inversion retest. I was talking too much. I was going over analysis. Look at this entry here. Boom. This wick here. Your inversion, and if you miss the entry, you got your retest right at 2 o'clock. That was the best entry. So yeah, inversions, I love them. And if you miss them, sometimes it's the only entry. There were a few entries above a little bit, but not many. But this would have been the 2 o'clock would be the entry. I tend not to enter because normally they're not that clean around this time, but sometimes it is. So this was a beautiful inversion. Higher time frame. Now it's fractal. Could you find one on the 5 minute? Yes, you can also find one on the 5 minute, but on the 5 minute, then it's like this in this area, so it's a little bit harder to read, right? You can use your order blocks, changing the state here, then you have a retest here, 150. There's many ways you can frame, you can skin this chicken, I guess. The only thing is the breaker retest a little bit hard in this scenario. That is what I use the most. Then we have this one here, then you have this one, 991 you could enter as well. There are opportunities, but it was just... Hello Sonu, Mina, how are you doing? Now let's see what happens here. Are we going to break through this entry? Because we respected the breaker, right? Respected the bullish breaker. I'm just keeping both scenarios on just to see which. But then again, are we going to? What did we do? Oh, look at that! This is really a bottom candle without any wick. So the bottom and the top doesn't have any wick. Okay, we already wicked the top. Let's see if we need to wick the bottom. Let's see what it does. Hey Farad, no, I'm not from the USA. I'm from the Netherlands, but I live in South Africa currently. So these are South African trees you see behind me. South African trees, South African rain. A lot of South African rain and wind. I want to send it back to Europe. Hey, wind, rain, go back, because I moved away from that. So don't follow me. It's stalking me. See, we also respected on the 5 minute the first percentage fair value gap of London. So you see this orange line here. So that's also sort of like, you know, it is showing bullishness, but I still don't trust it. Now let's see. I want to see if this one opened. See, this one opened lower than the close here. So that makes me a little bit hesitant if this is just a retest or are you going to go higher? Okay. Is it going to go into this level here? Maybe? Let's see. Farad, I think I actually added gold when I started streaming because people on I don't think it's a matter of being better, but they are just different instruments. But I think if you manage to read one very well, stick to it. But I had a lot of requests when I started this YouTube channel because I only used to do NQ, and a lot of people asked me about gold. But when I did gold, like I was in the first month when I started doing it, it was very because I have to use my what I've been learning, and everything that I use on NQ I could apply on gold. So for me, I had a few very good trades on gold, but then it started to consolidate a lot, and I just thought, okay, I'm less interested now. But I don't think it's bad. I think it's really good, but you have to be able to identify the chop or the bad area. So I stay out of gold. But Bowser, for example, he took a really because I didn't look at it. I missed a few good A plus setups on gold this week, but he took them because he was watching gold all the time. So I think it's if you trade gold a lot and you know the levels there, it's not bad, but it's just you have to be able to identify the chop and be able to know. So I think I cannot say which one is better. I just ain't I because I've been trading NQ for 3 years. I know the levels better than I know gold levels better. So that's why I'm more comfortable when it's both choppy. I prefer to stick to NQ because I just know the levels a little bit better. But I don't think one is better than the other. They're just a little bit different. But when it comes to ICT logic and concept, you can use both. But it's just a matter of getting to know the logic and to understand when to stay out and when not. So if I look at gold now, I just don't like it. But maybe, yeah, I think December both are not good. So that's why I'm very conservative in my getting in and out and trades on my evaluations. Like you don't see, I don't mind doing nothing now and just watching price action and just seeing what happens. But listen, I love to trade. Don't get me wrong. I'm very eager to enter a trade, and I've been doing this maybe the first time in London that I haven't put a trade on. Is it the first time? Maybe second, but not even a paper trade. But I don't think it's better. Yeah, you just have to be more vigilant in December, I guess, because if objectives have been met, for example, if this 0.5 on the monthly candle is the yearly objective, what are we going to get the rest of the year, right? Maybe it's done for. I think we have more room to the downside on NQ. I think so, but you know, it doesn't have to do a lot anymore. So we're going to get a lot of slow price action. And I do not want to be stopped out on this kind of price. I want to save my bullets for next year or just enter in really, high probability environment. So yeah, so it's just, but don't go switching just because gold is just one day doing nothing, and then you go to a new instrument which you don't know that well yet, and yeah, so it's always good to branch out at some point, but just be careful to oh, look at that now. Let's see if Anonymous has his TP was 83, I believe, right? Let's see if it can manage to. That's that blue line that I have here. Yeah, I think he said 83 if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check in the chat. It's curious. I believe he said 83. Where is you 88 Levi? No, it doesn't go that far. It can't go back that far. Well, I'm sure he said 83. If not, correct me if you're still here. He has an awesome trade. He had a good entry, but also the time that he sits. I mean, it's quite an achievement to sit through this time. Yeah, just don't get in and just be careful now. I mean, everyone has to be careful now and just take A plus setups, and it gets harder in trades like this to enter in a good position, and and you see you have a few trades just work out in your direction and you have to miss them. But it teaches you good, if you teach yourself discipline, which is for me also a very important thing, it's sort of like, okay, it's okay. I stuck to my rules because sometimes I'm not used to this price action doesn't give me my setup and it just doesn't give me proper risk reward, and I just decide not to take it, and that's good as well. And I guess that is also a lesson, right? Um, okay, so this level has now been taken. Yeah, December is price action gets less. People are going on holiday. Yearly objectives are met, so there will be slow price action, less A plus setups, but there still will be there. Hey, for example, everybody thought like, hey, there's no news on Wednesday. It's a low. It's not going to happen anything. And look what the move that we got yesterday in PM session, AM session. Everybody's thinking, oh, today's news. Today will be the move, but it was yesterday. But maybe today we'll get another nice move to the downside, because I think there's still room to the. I think it might just trickle up all the way, and then we get a nice distribution to that. Hold on, guys, just 1 second. Oh, look at that. Yeah, see, wow. Now it's going. I can get rid of this one here. This one is not going to work. Here we go. So, yeah, well, this happens. Sometimes it happens. There is no trade. It is what it is. Um, it is what it is. But yeah, there's definitely, I mean, it was going to be a distribution candle, right? So, um, 449. Oh, I'm a little bit hungry. Did anyone? Yeah, it's just now again the question could have been, was there an entry here or here? Yeah, at 4 o'clock maybe, but I just using the breaker. Yes, it could be maybe, but I it is a distribution candle, so you can if you look at the 4 hour, you can make the case like, okay, it's a 4 hour, starts at 2, finishes at 6. We created the London high here at quarter 2, and we took it out in the next macro. So that would have been, I do always say when you make a high here in a macro, right? It was a macro 345. I believe it was macro time. Then normally what would have happened is that it takes it out of the next macro. So that's exactly what happened. So let me just double check the times, because so we created these highs, 351. Yes, so that's macro time, and we took it out at 444. So not in macro time. Okay, so everything is off. Hold on, just 1 second. What's that? Okay, let's go. What's going on? Why am I hearing that? Am I still on? I should be still on. Okay. Okay, guys. I think yeah. There's no more trades for me. And just watching this, I do think we're gonna go all the way. Maybe even. That's. I don't think a lot of you are in a trade anyway, right? Um, I'm just gonna wait for a nice short today. I do think we're gonna go down again because we have a lot of these. I'm gonna take this off. We've got some wicks here. Question is how high are we going to go? But yeah, if you missed a trade, it's just a matter of waiting for the next opportunity. And that's it. That's all we can do. It's a bit of a bummer to be in a distribution, missing a distribution candle though. But on the other hand, I really don't like the price action is too slow. I'm not good at this slow price action. But then again, still, you can learn from it for next time. I'm going to journal it, and because I always want to try to be in a trade, but on the other hand, it also has to fit your personality, right? It's not like I think that's important too, to keep on respecting yourself as a and what kind of trader are you? What kind of trader do you want to be? You don't have to be in every trade, even though as a streamer you don't have to. So yeah, yeah, and I do feel it like when it really goes up, I'm like okay, but then again, you'll see in the AM session if we get a really a nice trade that goes faster to the downside, for example, and you just let this play out and it goes slow. But it's always like you start getting this like, oh, did I miss it? But should I have missed it? And did I maybe, you do start getting that little bit like, okay, but then I'm still okay because I don't like this price action, even though it goes in the direction that it goes to. And that's all okay. But then again, I do not want to, if it's just setting up for a short, if it's just a small retrace, if it's just a retracement to to set up for the short that's coming, I do not want to miss that though. So then technically, what I'm thinking like, is this, if we go to the 15-minute again, if you have accumulation, is this a manipulation move? Like, okay, then I want to have the distribution move to the downside. So, but we'll see. We'll see in a couple of hours. So I'm going to leave it at here for now, guys. So no trades, but just, I guess this was a lesson in patience. Those can be valuable as well, too, I guess. So I guess that's also like something we could always work on. But I mean, it doesn't make it very energetic, right? You want to be in a trade. I mean, I do want to preferably be in a trade, but this is part of trading, not being in a trade, watching, and journal it. And how far is it going to go? What levels is it using? How far does the distribution move go? Is the next candle okay? The question for me is, let's go over the 4-hour candle. What I'm looking for, like, so we have the next 4-hour candle will be at 6 o'clock. Is that going to be a continuation candle? Which I wouldn't be surprised of, that we get another 4-hour continuation candle to the upside. And then the question is the 10 o'clock one. Is that one going to be the move to the downside, or are we going to get consolidation? We have news today, but because we had such a large move on a no news day, I'm also a little bit aware. I'm like, okay, so they know how to trick you, because I was like, okay, we had such a large move. Let me just double check the news again. I just want to go over the news. I want to make sure that they didn't change anything. What date is it today? Today it is the 18th. Okay. Let me see. Yesterday and today. So today we have CPI, unemployment claims. Ooh, we've got a lot of news, guys. Okay, 8:30. I might start the stream a little bit earlier. Oh, 8. I love 8:30 candles. They give you a lot of information. I see some. Oh, that's European. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, CPI, unemployment claims, and the Philly Fed manufacturing index, and 8:45. Oh, that's nothing. And then tomorrow, it's already Thursday. Isn't that crazy? But hey, this could be the TGIF already, guys. Because listen, let me put on the daily. I want to show you guys something. We have to be aware of that as well. It's Thursday. 4 hours. I have to go to the 1 hour. We are already in the week. We already retraced back into the 20%, 30%. So it could be TGIF already, right here, 20%. Let's see. We do want to see this leave this area at some point very soon to take out this low again. But if it goes back into this range all the way up here, let's say it does that, I'm like, what is it going to do, right? Then now it could do it, go all the way up to 30 and then go back down. But if you really see it go back up, either it's going to go back all the way up or it's going to just hang around in this area. You don't want it to stay too long here already. It could signify the end of the but we have news, so I wonder what it's going to do. We might go back all the way. Who knows? I mean, anything could happen. I don't know. But yeah, watch the weekly, the levels already, and see where we are in the weekly range, because that's very will be helpful to identify what we're doing. I preferably see it. I hope it just goes up here and then doesn't go too far into it, and then it leaves it very soon. But I don't know if the news coming, what's going to do. We'll see. We have to wait. They always come up with new scenarios. You can make, especially on Fridays. I always I want to be prepared, so I make my scenarios. Okay, this could happen, that could happen. And then I'm like, okay, that's a new scenario. They're so creative. I mean, they always know how to surprise me. I'm like, okay, a new scenario. I journal it again, and they're like, okay, now I should have had them all by now. But no. They're always smarter than I am, I guess. So, okay, guys. Any questions before we head off? Anything? Is there anything you want to ask or comment? Nothing? Yeah, just don't try to get FOMO. Yeah, I mean, it's there are easier trades and there are better trades, even though it's still a move up, but just try not to feel any FOMO. Easier said than done. But anyway, thank you for now, guys. I'll see you back later today or either tomorrow, last day of the week then. And if I see you today, I'll see you later. And I wish you a pleasant day. Thank you, Sayad, for your presence and being so active today. I really love that. I love my chat. I love you guys. Really, I do. I think I've got that's for me. I'm always very excited to get on, and I always stream quite long. I'm always planning to stream 2 hours, and I don't even look. I just do. I realize and I'm looking. Okay, it's 3 hours already, but I just don't even realize it because I'm just enjoying the chat and just going over stuff. I can tape read all day, but I can't. I need to, just sometimes take a break. But it's a chat that really keeps me going. I'm just having a lot of fun with you guys. So anyway, thank you again, and I'll catch you later, and then hopefully we'll have a nice, smooth, fast trade, proper risk reward, confluences matching up, and go full tech. Okay, guys, I love you, and I'll see you back soon.